You're watching YCN, your local view. Program airtime is underwritten in part by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Looking to purchase your dream home, finance your business, or just find a better checking relationship? Our New Hampshire team is here to help you. We make award-winning banking happen every day. Contact us to see how we can help you. Member FDIC.
This YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist, much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, with 13 locations and celebrating over 60 years serving you with quality products and friendly service. By North Cape Design Build, who for over 40 years have crafted beautiful custom homes in the Lake Sunapee area of New Hampshire. By Bubba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Barton Insurance Agency, with quality and competitive solutions for auto, home, business, and life insurance. By The Big Spoon, a small batch bakery and ice cream shop in the heart of Newport, specializing in handcrafted baked goods, exclusive super premium ice cream, and coffee drinks. And Innertown Record, your hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge, Sunapee, and Sunshine Town regions. Additional support for today's game on YCN is provided by Colby Insurance Group, proud to support the NHIAA Division III Boys Soccer Tournament coverage and wishes Kearsarge the best of luck. Go Cougars! By Beltates, a full-service building materials store with 10 locations in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Find out more at beltates.com. Go Cougars! And by the Fenton family, providing hospitality in the Lake Sunapee region since 1977 through the Appleseed Restaurant, Sunapee Cruises, and the Fenton's Landing. Go Cougars! By Alley Oops Flowers, a retail shop full of creative gifts and some truly unique finds. They love to support small businesses, local crafters, and ethical companies, and the Cougars.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight is a great night. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Division III Boys Soccer State Championship between the number 1 St. Thomas Aquinas Saints and the number 2 Kearsarge Cougars. Interestingly enough, Kearsarge is the only team who's beaten St. Thomas this season. They won 1-0 at St. Thomas in Dover about a month ago now. And then the reason that Kearsarge is lower down in the standings is they had fewer wins due to more ties. But it's going to be a really good night to watch some soccer here. We had a bunch of games going on across the state, different division champions as well. So we'll get into that during the broadcast, but it should be a highly competitive game. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week. Please stay with us.
NCTV programs are underwritten in part by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oil, Propane, and Motor Fuels, with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of energy systems, as well as air conditioning and water conditioning. Their friendly, highly trained, and certified staff is available to assist you throughout the process. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. North Cape Design Build, for building a custom home from the ground up, a stunning waterfront property overlooking Lake Sunapee or Pleasant Lake, or the fabulous remodel you've been planning for a decade. North Cape Design Build can help your dreams become a reality. High-end custom craftsmanship, discerning contractors, beautifully executed designs. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer in New London since 1997, and much further back as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. LaValle Building Supply, serving homeowners and contractors since 1962. Whether you're an experienced builder or simply a do-it-yourselfer, you'll find what you need at LaValle Building Supply. Barton Insurance Agency provides local access to all your business and personal insurance needs, from auto, home, life, to business liability and related needs. Experience the hometown difference of Barton Insurance Agency. Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor for great land fare, seafood, sandwiches, and Bubba's award-winning seafood chowder. You won't be disappointed. They're having a lot of fun at Bubba's Bar and Grill. The Intertown Record, your weekly hometown newspaper covering the Kearsarge, Sunapee, and Sunshine region of New Hampshire. Online and in print, the Intertown Record. Main Street Bookends in Warner, an independent bookstore providing books, toys, games, cards, and gifts. With a gallery showcasing local arts and artists, Main Street Bookends in Warner. Thank all our underwriters for making your local programming possible on NCTV.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Drew Dumont here for YCN News. It is the YCN Game of the Week, and great game of the week it is to have the Kearsarge Cougars and the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints battling it out here for the championship for Division III boys soccer. About ready to get underway in just a few moments. Before this game started up, it was the #1 Stevens Cardinals defeating the #2 Raymond Rams by a score of 1-0 to take home the Division III soccer championship on the girls' side. There's been a lot of games going on around the state. Division II and Division IV wrapped up last night with Conval playing against Campbell. So the Campbell's boys won that 1-0. It was 5-4 in penalty kicks, so a really good close game. Then for Division II girls, Bow getting the upset 1-0 over Hollis Brookline last night. It was the game prior to Conval versus Campbell, so that was pretty interesting. And then in Division IV, you had a interesting story there with Woodsville, the #5 seed, defeating Epping, the #2 seed 2-1 for the boys, winning that championship. And the game before that was the Division IV girls game, with Profile losing the #8 seed. Impressive that they were able to make it all the way to the championship, to Portsmouth Christian, the #2 seed, by a score of 3-0. Also got Division I going on. Nashua South versus Bishop Girton. Nashua South the #1, Bishop Girton the #3. That's going on at about the same time as this, slightly later at 6:45. And then you got Winnicunnet, the #8, against Pinkerton, the #2 for Division I girls. That game's probably wrapping up about now. Haven't heard any updates from that over at Manchester Memorial. So that's kind of the setting, with D2 and D4 done yesterday, and D3 and D1 looking to finish up today as we move away from soccer season. But now we have PA coming up here, so I'll kick it over to the house as they're going to give us our starting lineups.
High school sports are an extension of the classroom learning experience. The student athletes in front of you have worked hard all season in the classrooms and the playing field to be able to play here today. As we encourage them to demonstrate good sportsmanship, we would also like to ask that you, our fans, help us make this event a meaningful one for the athletes by showing respect for your team, the opposing team, the coaches, and the officials. In the event of an emergency or inclement weather, all fans are to enter Bedford High School by the theater entrance. Today's game features the #2 seed Kearsarge Cougars against the #1 seed, the St. Thomas Saints. Kearsarge enters today's game with an overall record of 15 wins, no losses, and 4 ties, and that includes tournament wins over Winnisquam, Fall Mountain, and Hopkinton. Meanwhile, the #1 seed St. Thomas Saints enter today's game with an overall record of 16 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. That includes tournament wins over Mascoma, Prospect Mountain, and Trinity. Combined, these two teams have a record of 31 wins, only 1 loss, and 5 ties. It should be a good one. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Kearsarge Regional High School Cougars, starting the goal, a sophomore, number 1, Grady Birch. Starting defense, a senior, number 2, Brandon Wieters. Starting midfield, a senior, number 3, Elias Cooper. Starting defense, a junior, number 4, Cooper Russell. Starting midfield, a junior, number 6, Trenton Judkins. Starting at forward, a senior, number 9, Mason Christensen. Starting midfield, a sophomore, number 10, Bryce Selby. Starting at forward, a junior, number 11, Quinn Cusick. Starting forward, a senior, number 12, Blake Rico. Starting defense, a senior, number 14, Jacob Messer. And starting defense for Kearsarge, a senior, number 27, Kellen Sullivan. The head coach for the Cougars is Cooper Gunn, assisted by Theo Selby, Josh Grover, and Javier Eli Estich. The managers are Daniel Wexer, Oliver Smith, and Noah Gray. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the St. Thomas Aquinas High School Saints. Starting the goal, a junior, number 0, Ben Huertas. Starting forward, a senior, number 1, Angus Foreman. Starting midfield, a senior, number 2, Aaron Hughes. Starting defense, a senior, number 4, Aiden Molt. Starting defense, a senior, number 5, Brady Livas. Starting at forward, a senior, number 7, Luke Daly. Starting defense, a junior, number 8, Kavish Sharma. Starting at midfield, a senior, number 11, Ryan Gould. Starting midfield, a junior, number 13, Ryan Resch. Starting defense, a junior, number 17, Jake Moore. Starting midfield for St. Thomas, a sophomore, number 24, Ryan Dyer. The head coach for the Saints is Ethan Reck, assisted by Austin Manor, manager Sam Collins. The officials for today's game are Mark Shagnon, Ted Kitsis, and Brian Murphy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we ask you now to stand, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
We're going to pause to honor America with playing of the anthem.
The Bedford concession stand is open with plenty of pizza, popcorn, snacks.
All right, so that concludes the anthem. And we're just moments away from championship soccer. Now let's talk about the road to get here. St. Thomas was the #1 seed. They saw Mascoma Valley at home in the first round, winning that one relatively easily, 4-0, sending the Royals packing. After that, they took on Prospect Mountain at home in the quarterfinal, winning that one 4-0 as well. Then things got a little bit more challenging, a little bit more of a competitive game here a few nights ago at Bedford. They faced off against Trinity, won that one 2-1 by 1 goal. And then looking at the Cougars side, They played against Winnisquam at Colby Sawyer to start out the playoffs for the first round. Won that one 6-0 before going to Proctor, winning 2-1 against Fall Mountain. Fall Mountain, the number 10, who upset Berlin 3-2 in the first round. And then the Cougars moved on and had trailed the Hopkinton Hawks 1-0 a few nights ago back here at Bedford High School, but managed to string a couple of goals together very quickly to get the advantage in their favor. And came away with that victory 2-1, and that's how we get here to the state championship. Number 1, St. Thomas. Number 2, Kearsarge. Here we go. And they kick it away. The Saints win it. They send it back to their own end. Launching it towards attacking territory there. Kearsarge wearing white tonight. St. Thomas wearing navy blue. I know no one can see yet with just the audio broadcast for tonight. Ryan Gould here to throw it in for the Saints. Kearsarge defending, trying to get it out of there. Rolls out. It will be Cougar possession as Brandon Wieters to throw it in here for the Cougs. Trying to steal it away there. Luke Daly getting involved. Helps to win it back for the Saints with the ball out of bounds. Just over a minute underway. Knotted up 0-0 between the Saints and the Cougars. Mason Christensen with a lot of pressure. Now the Saints bring it downfield. Cougars trying to knock it away. They have possession here. Clearing it out of their own end towards midfield. Boots it up the field. Sent back the other way towards midfield. Now a struggle for possession. Saints and the Cougars going back and forth at midfield. St. Thomas trying to get something going on the attack. The official rules it in favor of them. Gould not going to throw it in. Instead, they're going to wait. Aiden Molt to throw it in now for the Saints. Sends it downfield. Header deflected by the Cougars. Saints still in attacking territory. Now booting it back down towards the other end. We anticipate a low-scoring game, much of what we saw 2 days ago in the semifinal. Excuse me, 3 days ago, but it's going to be a close one. 2-1, the outcome of the Kearsarge victory over Hopkinton. 2-1 was also the outcome of the victory for St. Thomas over Trinity. I'm expecting 1-0 or 2-1 here tonight. Both teams winning that one 2-1 in the semis. It's interesting. Doesn't always work out that way. And similar stats throughout the tournament as well, with both teams scoring 10 goals. St. Thomas has allowed 1 goal all tournament, and Kearsarge 2. So pretty strong teams both offensively and defensively, but that's what you expect when you get here to the championship. Now the Saints trying to bring it up the wing. The Cougars will get it back. Manages to keep it, and then there's a whistle. So now out of bounds. The Saints looking to attack here from the wing. They have a throw-in coming up. Corner kick coming up. Ryan Resch. This is the Saints' first opportunity of the game. Cougars trying to defend. Birch saves that one. Not a lot of speed behind it, but still, nonetheless, covers it up. Allows the Cougars to regroup. Now Kearsarge trying to get it out of their own end, attacking up the midfield side. Back to the Saints now. They win it back in midfield. Now back to the Cougars. Around midfield, they have it. They bring it back into their own defensive zone. Messer Jr. touches it. Then the Weeders. Saints now attacking, trying to tackle it away. They get it back. Luke Daly. Now Kearsarge. Bring it upfield, looking to attack up the left wing. That's out of bounds. The Cougars will have it in attacking territory. Quinn Cusick to throw it in. Opts not to take it himself. So instead, Jacob Messer Jr. and the Cougars have it back inbounds around the 30-yard line. Trying to weave it through a wall of Saints defenders. St. Thomas gets it back. Now back to the Cougs. At midfield. Kicking it forward, trying to look up that left side. Chasing it down is Christensen, but not before it rolls out of bounds. Needed an extra second there to get to it. But excellent hustle from Mason Christensen, and the Saints will get it back in their own end. Cougars trying to attack here. Weeders sends it towards the net. Saints defense sends that away, so it's just covered up here. They'll boot it away. Portas kicks it past the midfield line. Bringing it back in, knocked away off the head of Kellen Sullivan. Saints trying to attack now. Have it at the 35 for reference on the football field, trying to move it up the field. Cougars not making it easy. An opportunity arises for the Saints. Try to score, and they get it done. Goal! 1-0 St. Thomas. Looks like that was Angus Foreman. Aiden Molt right there too. Get the official announcement.
St. Thomas goal by number 1, Angus Foreman.
Yes, it was Foreman. So Foreman puts the Saints up 1-0. 32-47 still remaining in the opening half. So Kearsarge now with a 1-0 deficit. Saints trying to push it up field again. Looking to score. Save made by Birch. Boots it back out towards midfield. That's out of bounds. Cougars looking to regroup. They certainly would like a quick goal here to knot things up once again. Currently trail at 1-0, moving into attacking territory. St. Thomas not going to make it easy on them. They'll throw it in here. St. Thomas's defense highly aggressive, trying to win it back. Trying to boot it back up field here. Possession in the middle, now back in the Saints' end. They're trying to get it cleared. Neither team right now able to gain any significant advantage with control and possession. They continue to chase each other down. Saints trying to get it going up midfield here. Now looking to attack from the right wing. Well wide of the goal off of the shot attempt there from Aaron Hughes. The Saints will have it coming in from the left side. That is out of bounds. So the Cougs get it back in their own defensive end. 30 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the opening half. The Saints lead this one 1-0 over the Cougars. Angus Foreman was able to get the game's first and lone goal so far, which has been the difference maker. Now trying to attack. Booted back towards midfield. The Saints have it now. They're rushing up the field. They have the advantage, trying to chase him down. Good defense from the Cougs. Just pushing him away. That's Luke Daly trying to get the attack up the field. But good job by the defense of the Cougars closing quickly. It's Cooper Russell and Jacob Messer Jr. there for the Cougs. Kick opportunity coming up here for the Saints. Ball at about the 46. It's going to be brought back a little bit. Probably about to the midfield yard line. They're at the 50. Towards the net. Birch knocked down in his crease. He gets right back up there. So the Cougar defenders and the Saints attackers all went for it. A little bit of a collision. Everyone appears to be okay, which is good news. St. Thomas back with it in their own end, trying to get the attack reset. The Saints trying to get it, but that's going to be an offsides call there against the Saints. Looks like it was Foreman who got too far upfield. That's out of bounds. The Saints will have it with a throw-in on their own side of the field. Sent way up in the air there at midfield. St. Thomas now, they have it. Bring it up the field. That's knocked away there by the Cougars. Foreman once again trying to push it up. Now the Saints regrouping, coming back on the attack. Kicked away. Now back with it towards their own end. Kicking it back towards the attacking territory. Birch comes out of his crease, slides down and scoops the ball up there. Boots it back downfield. Out of bounds, the Cougars will keep it. Now, the Cougars trying to bring it up the field. Whistle dead there. That goes in favor of the Cougs. It was against that was against Aaron Hughes of the Saints. So Cougars now trying to attack. That's going to be out. St. Thomas to get it back in their own end. Get a whistle here. Kearsarge with possession now. Trying to push it upfield now. Cougars try to kick one there towards the box for a chance on attack. Strong defense showing here from the Saints. Now rushing up the field. Tackle is made there, taken away by the Saints. It's Bryce Selby trying to get the offense going for the Cougars. Now Kearsarge trying to work it up the side. St. Thomas has just made it so difficult for them to make much progress up the field. Kicking it towards the net. Birch leaves the crease. That's wide as there's a collision right there with the goalie. Birch down on the ground. Gets helped back up by his teammates. One of the Saints players went tumbling towards the net. I'm not certain who that is right now. Birch is up and he appears to be okay. Certainly good news. Looks like it was Ryan Gould there on the collision with Grady Birch. So Birch to kick it away here. Launch it towards midfield. The St. Thomas Aquinas Saints lead the Kearsarge Cougars by a score of 1-0 with 22 minutes and 30 seconds still remaining in the opening half. That's going to go against St. Thomas. The Cougs will get possession back here from their own end. Tune in on the first Thursday and Friday of every month for Cougar Chronicle at noon and 7 p.m. Check in for what's happening in the Kearsarge district. Email your questions for Ask the Superintendent. Partner Insurance Agency supports you and your community. Ben says one size fits all just doesn't apply to insurance, which is why every client gets their individual attention. This game coverage is being brought to you by La Valley Building Supply with their brand new 5,000 square foot kitchen showroom at their West Lebanon store. Now, in the middle of the field, Kearsarge trying to get it back. St. Thomas has just made it so incredibly difficult for them to hold possession for any amount of time longer than 5 seconds, especially challenging to move it up the field. Defense has been pretty much suffocating to this point, but all it takes is one play to get it upfield, knock it into the back of the net, and all of a sudden momentum flips. Sometimes this is the way it goes, and it looks different as the game progresses. Nearly found an open window there that would have led to a breakaway. Now back in the Cougar end, they have it. Throw in comes in. This is Quinn Cusick. Player down on the field. It's going to go against Cusick with Ryan Gould taking a tumble to the turf, gets right back up, and the Saints will have it in their own end. Boots it down the field. Kearsarge with it now. Goes against the Saints, so the Cougars get it back in their own end. Calls have favored them here in their defensive zone. Some of that's good discipline. Now trying to bring it upfield here. Checking out that left side, that's going to be too far out of bounds. So it'll be Kearsarge ball here. Weaving it through there, up the field. The Saints, really strong defense showing here from Ryan Dyer. Puts it back away. Slides, taking a tumble to the turf there. Which way are they going to call this one? Looks like it'll be St. Thomas possession here in the attacking zone. 18:05 remaining here. St. Thomas with a 1-0 advantage over Kearsarge. Kicking it towards the net, save there by Birch. Scoops that up with relative ease. Kearsarge will have it as they move it upfield. Now brings it up. is able to find Grieco. St. Thomas playing tough defense there in the middle. Saints get it back in their own end. Calls have seemed to favor both defenses for the most part. Goes against St. Thomas. My point is proven there. So Kearsarge with it back. Now to get it up the field. Taken back away by the Saints defense. Now launching it down the field. Birch comes out, makes a play on that. Back to the Saints at midfield. Now to the Cougars. It's deflected the head of Aiden Malt, so Kearsarge gets the throw in. Back and forth in the middle of the field. Got a whistle here. St. Thomas to get it back. Let's go Kearsarge, the chant from the Cougar faithful. This crowd trying to bring some energy into their squad, who trails 1-0. Still 14:35 to play here in the opening half, and then a second half as well. All they need is one to get this thing even. The Big Spoon Bakery, Ice Cream and Coffee Shop in Newport is right across from the Opera House. For the freshest baked goods, complimented now by sandwiches and hot soup. Open Wednesday through Saturday. Check out Echo Communications for all your printing and mailing needs. They are the home of the Kearsarge Shopper, where the latest YCN schedule can be found every week on page 3. Additional coverage for today's game is being provided by the Fenton family of hospitality, Alley Oops Flowers, and Colby Insurance Group, wishing the Kearsarge boys the best of luck, and by Beltates, a full-service building material store. Now Kearsarge with it. They bring it up the field here on the right side in attacking territory. St. Thomas not going to make it easy. They haven't done so all night long. The Saints get it back and clear it for now. Cougars look to regroup towards midfield, come up with a plan of attack. Saints have made a really good job of making those passing lanes really narrow on the Cougars. That is out. The Saints will get it back here as they look to bring it up from midfield. St. Thomas with it here, as it is Foreman trying to get the offense rolling once more. He has the game's lone goal. The Saints now trying to weave it in from that left side. Kearsarge going to make it difficult for them. St. Thomas has controlled more of the play throughout the game, but you got to give credit to the Cougs. Their defense has come together when they needed to for the most part. They've only allowed that one goal there. And St. Thomas, their attack deserves a lot of credit, making it difficult there for the Cougars defense. And goalkeeper Grady Birch, who's only had one game this year where he allowed multiple goals, and that was the first game of the season. Since then, he's gone 18 straight games without allowing more than one goal. That's a pretty impressive streak if you ask me. It's catapulted up in the air to the Saints. They're trying to attack, but the Cougars defense trying to push them away. Let's see if the Cougar offense can set something up here. They'd love to get this thing even by halftime. Rico sends it back towards the middle of the field there, unable to be handled by Cooper. The Saints attack back with it, but taken back the other way now as that stop was made there by Cooper Russell. Now the Saints in it, off position, and save made there, dissolving the threat. I guess that was technically not on net, but still dissolved the offensive threat there, as it was Blake Grieco closing quickly there for the Cougar offense. Now back towards midfield. Both teams going to be relentlessly aggressive tonight, both on offense and on defense. We're trying to get it back. We've seen that here. Two Goliaths going at it. Cougars trying to get back even now. They're looking to set it up. They're trying to spread out wide to get the Saints defenders to move around and open up those passing lanes that sent towards the net and easily swatted aside there by Portas. Penalty goes in favor of Kearsarge. So let's see if their attack can get to work and get us even here. St. Thomas leads it 1-0 with 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here till we reach halftime. Lining up for the kick now. Kick here, sent towards the net. Save made as it's snatched out of the air there by Portas. Kearsarge has it at midfield. Not going to force it up if they don't have the option. St. Thomas's defenders, again, very quick to get to the ball. Spirals back towards midfield. Grieco now sends it to the side. That's out of bounds. The Saints will get it back here. Eight minutes remaining till we reach halftime. St. Thomas has a 1-0 lead over Kearsarge. It was Angus Foreman earlier in the half who was able to get St. Thomas that 1-0 advantage. Both teams have played strong defense throughout. In the St. Thomas end as they kick it back towards midfield. Now from that left side. Out of bounds. Kearsarge to get it back here. Be Wieters on the throw-in. Now the Saints back up on the attack. Defended there by the Cougars. Some nice moves made there. As it was Cooper weaving his way through defenders. Now out once again towards midfield. In case you were wondering, Kearsarge now back within their own end. They trail 1-0. Saints to get it back. Kearsarge trying to keep it in there along that sideline, back towards midfield. Chasing it down now, trying to dig it out of the corner. St. Thomas gets it back here. That's sent out of bounds. Cougars to bring it back in. You can hear the chant from the Kearsarge crowd here tonight, trying to give their team the juice to climb back in it and get it knotted up before half. All they need is one play. St. Thomas able to clear it for now. Back to Birch, kicks it deep beyond midfield. Trying to boot it back. Now Kearsarge. Trying to get it back towards the attacking territory. They have it here at about the 25-yard line. St. Thomas tries to push it back. Foot race for the ball there. Ooh, good chance, but swatted away there by the defenders from the Saints. trying to chase it out of the corner there. Saints will, looks like they'll get it back. Inside of 2 minutes now. St. Thomas with it in their own end. They lead this one 1-0. Defenses have made the job of the offenses very challenging on both sides of the field. Chances coming at a premium. Cougars now trying to fish it out of their own end. St. Thomas wanting to capitalize here late. See if they can push it to a 2-0 advantage here. Kearsarge gets it back. Now corner coming up. No, time runs out and we reach halftime. It is the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints 1 and the Kearsarge Cougars 0 for halftime for the Division III Boys Soccer State Championship. This is Drew Dumont from YCN. Please stay for our second half. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
NCTV programs are underwritten in part by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oil, Propane, and Motor Fuels, with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of energy systems, as well as air conditioning and water conditioning. Their friendly, highly trained, and certified staff is available to assist you throughout the process. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. North Cape Design Build for building a custom home from the ground up, a stunning waterfront property overlooking Lake Sunapee or Pleasant Lake, or the fabulous remodel you've been planning for a decade. North Cape Design Build can help your dreams become a reality. High-end custom craftsmanship, discerning contractors, beautifully executed designs. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer in New London since 1997, and much further back as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. La Valley Building Supply, serving homeowners and contractors since 1962. Whether you're an experienced builder or simply a do-it-yourselfer, you'll find what you need at La Valley Building Supply. Barton Insurance Agency provides local access to all your business and personal insurance needs, from auto, home, life, to business liability and related needs. Experience the hometown difference of Barton Insurance Agency. Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor for great land fare, seafood, sandwiches, and Bubba's award-winning seafood chowder. You won't be disappointed. They're having a lot of fun at Bubba's Bar and Grill. The Intertown Record, your weekly hometown newspaper covering the Kearsarge, Sunapee, and Sunshine region of New Hampshire. Online and in print, the Intertown Record. Main Street Bookends in Warner, an independent bookstore providing books, toys, games, cards, and gifts. With a gallery showcasing local arts and artists, Main Street Bookends in Warner. Thank all our underwriters for making your local programming possible on NCTV.
Welcome back to YCN's coverage of the Division III Boys High School Soccer Championship. It is St. Thomas versus Kearsarge. St. Thomas leads at 1-0. They're able to score pretty early with Angus Foreman getting the goal 32 minutes and 17 seconds remaining there. Just about 7.5 minutes there into the game. Both teams have looked really strong defensively to this point, and they have not allowed either offense to get a lot of chances, so it's going to be low scoring like we anticipated. We'll have second half action after these messages and a segment on gratitude from this month's Cougar Chronicle. Just a reminder that more segments like this can be seen every week on Yankee Chronicle right here on YCN every Thursday and Friday at noon and 7 p.m. and on demand at ycnnow.com. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
Additional support for today's game on YCN is provided by Colby Insurance Group, proud to support the NHIAA Division III Boys Soccer Tournament coverage and wishes Kearsarge the best of luck. Go Cougars! By Beltates, a full-service building materials store with 10 locations in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Find out more at beltates.com. Go Cougars! And by the Fenton family, providing hospitality in the Lake Sunapee region since 1977 through the Appleseed Restaurant, Sunapee Cruises, and the Fenton's Landing. Go Cougars! By Alley Oops Flowers, a retail shop full of creative gifts and some truly unique finds. They love to support small businesses, local crafters, and ethical companies, and the Cougars.
It's worth the visit to La Valley Building Supply in West Lebanon, New Hampshire, home of our flagship Kitchen Design Center. Step inside our 5,000 square foot showroom. Whether you're ready to design your dream kitchen or just want to explore what's new, you'll find inspiration everywhere. At La Valley's, there's a price point for every customer. Visit the flagship Design Center in West Lebanon or stop by any La Valley showroom across New Hampshire and Vermont. La Valley Building Supply, your hometown choice for kitchens since 1962.
So now this is the question, is one I had in a conversation at a month or two ago, and I was at homecoming, and we were talking about your history. And, you know, we know where you came from, and we haven't talked a lot about, you know, about how you got into all of this. And what they said was, well, you know, why did he get into, you know, administration, which is different from just being in education, right? Mm-hmm. And so my question, I'm putting a November spin on it. Okay. Specifically, who is someone in your life who you're thankful for, who helped guide you in the direction of, you know, of the direction that you went into?
You know, when we talked about this thing in the beginning, I was hoping there might be a softball or two in there.
I know. Well, it is
like
I know.
Every month has been a good one, and that's a tough one. I have been so honored to have been surrounded by people in my life that showed me what great leaders look like. I'm trying not to get emotional with this.
It's going to make me cry.
But it truly is. And I talk a lot about my parents. My mom and my dad are very important to me. Family is a big thing. You know, when we look at that kind of stuff, and as we pull things back in, my dad showed me how to lead with his heart and to put everybody else's needs ahead of what you want, because when you take care of the team, then everything gets done. Right. My mom taught me relationships and the passion of those connections. When I look at, I jokingly say that the best administrator I've ever met in my life was my wife, who was a retired SPED administrator. Yes. And yes, people go, well, you're biased because you're married to her. And,
I love her too.
I'm saying that so that way, you know, she'll feed me over Thanksgiving. But when it comes down to it, I watched my wife wrestle with some of the toughest decisions as a SPED director. And because of the nature of our job, I don't know what it is. Like, she can't know my life, I can't know hers. We just know it's a lot of time. Right. And we know things like that. And so you see a lot of those wrestling things. So, you know, obviously Rick Fortney and Connie Fortney, my parents, influenced a great deal of who I was. But when we talk about the idea of really seeing it, my wife was an administrator before I got into administration. So I got to see how it's done with class and how it's done with integrity. And irregardless, there's an old saying, you know, with education, that we do what's best for kids. And I heard an administrator one time say that that's an incomplete statement, that we do what's best for kids, not convenient for adults. And sometimes that's not the same thing. And I've watched my wife as a SPED administrator in multiple districts, in small districts, in large districts, really fulfill that mantra. So when we get into things and we get to the emotion of stuff, I would tell you that my wife had a profound impact not because of being my spouse, which I am grateful for, but because being a shining example of how to lead and to never lose her North Star.
It is the month of November, and we're grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in, because it gives us the chance, and John the chance, to really lift the veil on what's going on in the district.
Well, we want people to see what's going on. It's their district, it's community district.
Right.
You know, the community is heavily invested and involved in what we have going on. And again, like we talked about this a number of times, the people we bring on tell the story so much better than we ever could. I mean, we have opinions and we have great stories, but to see the emotion from our CIA director, the excitement, to hear the battles that Christine Turcotte is doing when they're trying to get our kids across the finish line, and just to see the emotion all the time, and just the great advice that we see from Mr. Bissetti. Those stories hold so much more weight when they're told by those folks.
Absolutely, and we even got cooking advice today too, right? Well, for that turkey.
We have not debated. We're going to debate this one
We
out.
will. So. I feel emails in our future.
Yeah,
but thank you again for joining us. We wish you and your family a joyous, safe, and happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Yeah. We look forward to seeing you next month, when hopefully we have had 0 snow days, but we don't know that it's New Hampshire, but I can be hopeful.
Hopeful, exactly. I don't think so.
Good use of it. We'll see what happens, but we'll see you next month.
Right here on
The Cougar Chronicle.
You're watching YCN, your local view. Program airtime is underwritten in part by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Looking to purchase your dream home, finance your business, or just find a better checking relationship? Our New Hampshire team is here to help you. We make award-winning banking happen every day. Contact us to see how we can help you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Drew Dumont for YCN. You're watching the game of the week, and it is the Division III Boys Soccer Championship here between the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints and the Kearsarge Cougars. Right now, the score remains 1-0 in favor of the Saints. Angus Foreman was able to strike early, 7 minutes and 43 seconds into the contest to put the Saints up 1-0. No more scoring in the remainder of the first half, with both defenses stepping up very strong. Made it very challenging on one another. Something I noted from St. Thomas is they were aggressive early and often. They like to keep the passing lanes narrow there for Kearsarge. They had a really good defensive plan. Kearsarge, they had a lot coming their way in their own end, but the defenders were able to step up and try and limit the number of saves that all-state goalkeeper Brady Birch would need to make. So it still remains competitive, even though it's not even. They're just looking to strike really quick. To remind you that Kearsarge trailed 1-0 in that game in the semifinal 3 days ago against Hopkinton. They were down 1-0 in the second half and came back to win that one 2-1, so they'll look to do the same here tonight. Out of bounds. Back to the Saints. Flip sides now, with the Cougars going left and the Saints, the Cougars on the left trying to go right, and the Saints starting out from the right trying to go left. Birch scoops that one up pretty easily. Kearsarge with it in their own end. St. Thomas with a lot of pressure. Trying to steal it back. They do. Foreman now. Got a whistle there. Goes in favor of St. Thomas. They'll have a kick coming up here. Ball at about the 40, if that gives you context for the football field overlay. Brady Livis to kick it into attacking territory now. St. Thomas Birch scoops that up off the bounce. He'll wait as the Cougars get reset. Just rolls it there to the outside of the box. Back towards midfield, booted way up in the air there for the foot of Brady Livis. Sullivan does it not get in. St. Thomas with it back here. Trying to chase him down that left side. All out of bounds. Kearsarge gets it back. St. Thomas not happy with the call. Cougars to have it in their own end. Remains 1-0 St. Thomas with 36:43 remaining here. Now in the second half. Back in their own end now. Rushing down the field, here comes St. Thomas. On that save made by Birch. It was Cusick who hit the turf there. Right back up with it. Now as the Cougars attempt to attack. Opportunity here, a little bit too wide on the net. Kearsarge trying to attack, close to the net there. Out in front with a chance. St. Thomas knocks it away and they clear it out of there. Kearsarge with a good chance there as they got it in deep, but the Saints defense steps up and answers the bell. Hear the chance here for Kearsarge. Their fan base showed out. Trying to get the offense rolling. Now St. Thomas back from their own end. Back towards midfield. Now, St. Thomas attacking. towards the net, scores! St. Thomas is now up 2-0. Wow. Ryan Dyer and Angus Foreman were back there up front. It appears that it was Dyer who knocked it in, but Foreman was right there as well. I think it was Ryan Dyer with the goal. So the Saints now lead at 2-0. Are 33 minutes and 17 seconds away from a championship. Should mention that since the realignment here with the divisions, instead of letters now going to numbers, divisions 1 through 4, neither team has won a championship in boys soccer. So tonight would be the first for St. Thomas in Division 3. Same could be said for the Cougars if they manage to pull off the comeback. They'll have to strike at least twice here in the final 33 minutes and 17 seconds of regulation. Clock remains stopped. Shouldn't be. Tackle made there on the field. Trying to push it up here. Here come the Cougs. Here comes St. Thomas. They race down the field, trying to make it 3-0. Cougars defense wins it back here. Cougars with it back towards midfield. We have a whistle. Trying to back up the Cougars. Up in the air, out of bounds. Sullivan with the throw-in. Kearsarge with it at midfield. That's out of bounds. Kearsarge with the throw-in. St. Thomas to get it back here in their own end. Cougars out of bounds there. They're trying to push it up the side there from their own end. in the midfield here, struggle for possession. The Saints have it right now. That could quickly change with the way that these defenses close fast and keep switching the possession the other way. Boots it back towards the middle of the field. Cougars trying to get a handle on it. It's been tough for them all night long. St. Thomas, here they come. Juggling through defenders there. Couldn't quite find the angle from the pressure. Grabbed by Birch. Now back up the field, launches that well too high. Closer to a field goal than a soccer goal. Saints to dig it out of their own end now, back deep. They lead this one 2-0. 27 minutes and 23 seconds remain. That's what stands between them and their first state title here in Division III. It's out of bounds. Saints now in attacking toward territory. Jake Moore throws it in. Back towards midfield. St. Thomas pulls it out of their own end. Now Kearsarge gets it back. They regroup, sending it up towards the middle of the field. Back and forth. They got ping pong ball. Now the Cougs trying to fish it out of their own end. That's out of bounds. Saints will have the throw-in coming up here. Towards midfield. St. Thomas now brings it up. Trying to kick it towards the net. That's way too far wide. So Birch will retreat behind the cage and just scoop up the closest soccer ball. With the Cougars now in their own end, they're going to need to come up with a couple goals really quickly. We've seen that before. They did that in the semifinal. We're down 1-0 against the Hawks, came back to win it 2-1. Just got to find those 2 goals tonight to tie it up and looking to send it to overtime. when I was speaking with Coach Gunn during the pregame, something that he told me was he thought that St. Thomas and Hopkinton was very similar in the way that those two teams operate. Very strong defensive teams there with talented attackers. He said that one of the only differences were the way that they press. St. Thomas runs with a 4-4-2 press, whereas the Hawks usually go with a 4-5-1 press. He said it was a surreal feeling for him and his team to finally get here. This has been a 4-year project ever since Coach Gunn took over the program back in the fall of 2022. Man, have they made tremendous improvement. They trailed this one by 2. You never know, they could come back and win it, but nonetheless, it's incredibly impressive to make it this far to a state championship. The Saints were looking to get some good low shots. That's what assistant coach Sam Collins told me during pregame, and they got a couple of those, and it's resulted in a 2-goal lead now in the second half. And he wanted them to be in good shape with their defense, and they certainly have done well to this point. But it's not about playing the first hour of the game, it's about playing the full 80 minutes of it, and they know that, and Kearsarge knows that. And that's why they're going to try and score and cut this lead in half here, now that they have possession in attacking territory. That's out of bounds. Corner kick coming up for the Cougs. This is the prime opportunity they wanted to get this thing closer. Kick is up and away. Knocked there, too wide there, so doesn't get it done. Bryce Selby set it up there with the corner kick. He'll have another one coming up. St. Thomas still leads it 2-0 with 22 minutes and 2 seconds remaining till the end of regulation. Selby from the corner, knocks it in front. That's wide. We have a whistle, and it's going to go back to the Saints. Cougars trying to push it upfield. The Saints with it back there in their own defensive end as it's kicked up and away, out of harm's way by Brady Livas. Now back deep in the Cougar zone. Foreman was there, but so was Birch and a couple of the Cougar defenders. Now back to midfield. Collision there. No foul intention. Both players get right back up. Cougars to have a free kick up here. Ball at about the 46.5. Boots it deep there towards the box to see if he can get the deflection. Bounced out. Now a foot race to chase it down. Back to Cougar territory there towards midfield into their possession. Cooper Russell with it. That's going to be out, so the Saints will get it back in their own defensive end. Kicking it back towards midfield. rolls out beyond the boundary line. The Saints now to throw it in. This is Jake Moore. Cougars dribble it towards midfield now, taken back by the Saints. Dyer there with it. Set back towards midfield. Cougs trying to chase it down in their own end. Now Birch to boot it back towards center field. The Saints have it. Back to the Cougs now. That's out of bounds. The Saints to throw it in here. Jake Moore. Saints still trying to stay on the attack. Kearsarge just bouncing it around their own defensive end. Ricochets like a Play-Doh machine as the Cougars cut upfield here with a chance. Directed in front, taken away. The Saints close quickly to remove the angle. Cougars still have possession in attacking territory. Now St. Thomas gets it back here. They dribble it around the side there, trying to win that foot race down the field. That's out of bounds, so the Cougs to get it back around midfield. North Cape Design Build's legacy of trust successfully cultivated over 40 years as they support the boys and girls clubs in our area at the Mount Sunapee Duck Drop. The next live game of the week is Laker basketball as Sunapee girls and boys host Hinsdale Friday, December 5th, starting at 5 p.m. Check out schedules at ycnnow.com for our full winter lineup. Bubba's Bar and Grill has a full menu of amazing seafood, Landfair award-winning seafood chowder, hearty sandwiches, and a diverse pizza menu to satisfy any size party. Kearsarge tries to get going down the field now, and that's going to be out of bounds. If you or your business would like to support our live coverage of boys and girls basketball this winter, email us at info@ycnnow.com to learn more. We have a lineup of 12 regular season games plus tournament action. Now returning to tournament action as this is our final game of fall sports coverage, with the St. Thomas Saints leading the Kearsarge Cougars by a score of 2-0. Kearsarge currently has possession there in their attacking end with 16 minutes remaining in the second half. Cleared out there by the Saints. Kick there towards the middle of the field. Cougars trying to attack. The Saints weave it out of their own end there. Kearsarge with possession. St. Thomas's defense has been aggressive, been able to prevent them as much as they can from scoring down the field. Now kicked forward. They've really limited their opportunities. And as a result, Kearsarge has not scored. Now St. Thomas has it back towards midfield, looking to flip it to the attacking side. Livis working through defenders. Now from the side, cleared out there. Here come the Saints. Shot is up too high that time after the shot attempt from Luke Daly. Sails right over the crossbar there, and it remains 2-0 for the Saints. They were trying to expand it to a 3-0 advantage. 13.5 minutes remaining here. Just got to continue to play good defense, stay aggressive, try and run the clock down. Not far from a championship. Cougars got to dig deep here, see if they can quickly pull together a couple goals in the next 13 minutes. Bringing it up the field. That's, both sides think it goes their way. It actually goes the way of the Cougars towards midfield. They throw it back in here. Saints quickly win it back. Cougars trying to steal it away. They do for now. A lot of pressure coming in from St. Thomas. That's been their advantage tonight. With the lead, they've been able to keep the Cougars on their toes, making it really difficult for them to get in position to score. Goes back towards the Cougars' own end. Send it back to Grady Birch in the net. Kicks it back as his teammates try to work something up midfield. Collision down there on the field. Kearsarge with it in their own end. Now bringing it up here. St. Thomas has it. They fire it towards the net, off the goalpost. Not the soccer one, the football one. As Luke Daly lined up and launched that right there off of the iron. Now Birch with it in his goal crease to kick it back. Kearsarge has it in their own end now. Taking a tumble to the turf down there on the field. St. Thomas has it at midfield. They try and kick it up. Cougars looking to win it back here. Dangerous chance. Knocked away. Good hustle there on that sideline as the Cougars managed to keep it in bounds. Now that goes out that time. So St. Thomas will get it back at midfield. They lead this one still by a score of 2-0 with 8:45 remaining in this second half. That's the time that stands between them and their first state title here in Division III boys soccer. Trying to chase it down now. The Cougars in attacking territory, putting some pressure there on the Saints. Saints win it back here. We have a whistle. The player down on the field. Fires the shot, knocked away there. Trying to deny the Cougs the opportunity. St. Thomas trying to weave it out of their own end. They're able to do so. Now the Saints coming with pressure upfield. Got to manage to stay onside here. Kicks it out front with the attempt. Birch comes out of the crease and deflects that out of bounds. Birch makes the play. Now back towards midfield. The Saints trying to make some progress. They'd love to keep away from the Cougars here. See if they could get one deep into the Cougar territory again, make it 3-0. That would make it even more challenging here. With St. Thomas having control of this one now. 2-0 advantage, 6:40 remaining. St. Thomas, they have it in the middle. See if they can find a passing lane. Unable to do so. The Cougars make it difficult. They win it back. Kearsarge pushes it up midfield. Taken back there by the Saints as Jake Moore was able to get his foot on it. Now deflection goes back to the Cougars at midfield. Back down, a foot race down the field. Opportunity here for Foreman. Puts it through, and another goal. Angus Foreman all but seals the deal here for the Saints as they go up 3-0 with 6:04 remaining.
St. Thomas goal by number 1, Angus Foreman.
Looked like Grady Birch just came out too far on that one. So 6:04 remaining in the game. Angus Foreman makes it a 3-0 lead for the Saints, all but insurmountable here. They kick it forward. Back towards the net. Save is made that time as Portis covers it up. Kearsarge now just looking to knock one in here. trying not to get shut out in the state championship. They would at least like to take a goal home. They'll have an opportunity with a free kick coming up here at the 29-yard line. Lines it up, deflected out of their own end. Kearsarge gets it back. Keelan Sullivan. Kearsarge trying to get somebody open. Stolen away by the Saints. Kearsarge gets it back. Out once again, Cougar ball to throw it in. Inside of 5 minutes to go now. St. Thomas has the lead, 3-0. Just looking to close this one out. Imagine that'll be a very enthusiastic bus ride back to Dover with them clinching their first state championship in Division III, barring something crazy here from the Cougars. Kearsarge has it on the wing, deflected out of bounds. Was Quinn Cusick. Looks like that one went off of Jake Moore. Rolls, somehow it manages to stay in bounds. I thought for certain that would go out. Seemed like there was some invisible force keeping it in. So Kearsarge with it. They bring it up towards attacking territory once more. Still trail 3-0. St. Thomas just trying to drive the bus home for their first state championship in Division III tonight. Now the Cougars knock it upfield. Trying to get it in deep there. That is out of bounds. Back to Kearsarge. They're hustling. They want that goal very badly. Gets it back in. Kearsarge trying to attack in St. Thomas territory. That is going to be out of bounds. Get the whistle here. Thomas to bring it back in. Colin Healy. So there. Eli Kolker, you got to give him credit for the game that he had as well. That ball goes up into the stands. Back in their own end with it now. Boots it back out of bounds once more. Kearsarge with it now to throw it in. And that is it. The St. Thomas Aquinas Saints are going to be Division III boys soccer state champions for the very first time with a score of 3-0, the victory over the Kearsarge Cougars. We'll also throw out our HR Clough turning up the heat player of the game before we leave, and I'm going to go with Angus Foreman. He had 2 goals in this game. It was a huge difference for them, and that really was the driving force for the Saints tonight. So Angus Foreman, your final player of the game here for the fall. This was an excellent state championship. We'd like to thank all of our regular season sponsors and the businesses that stepped up to make this tournament coverage possible. Without the support of these local community-minded businesses, this programming would not be possible. Thank them and think about them by buying local. You've been watching the Game of the Week on YCN, your local view. This is Drew Dumont signing off, saying good night.
You're watching YCN, your local view. Program airtime is underwritten in part by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Looking to purchase your dream home, finance your business, or just find a better checking relationship? Our New Hampshire team is here to help you. We make award-winning banking happen every day. Contact us to see how we can help you. Member FDIC.
This YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist, much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, with 13 locations and celebrating over 60 years serving you with quality products and friendly service. By North Cape Design Build, who for over 40 years have crafted beautiful custom homes in the Lake Sunapee area of New Hampshire. By Bubba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Barton Insurance Agency, with quality and competitive solutions for auto, home, business, and life insurance. By The Big Spoon, a small batch bakery and ice cream shop in the heart of Newport, specializing in handcrafted baked goods, exclusive super premium ice cream, and coffee drinks. And Innertown Record, your hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge, Sunapee, and Sunshine Town regions. Additional support for today's game on YCN is provided by Colby Insurance Group, proud to support the NHIAA Division III Boys Soccer Tournament coverage and wishes Kearsarge the best of luck. Go Cougars! By Beltates, a full-service building materials store with 10 locations in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Find out more at beltates.com. Go Cougars! And by the Fenton family, providing hospitality in the Lake Sunapee region since 1977 through the Appleseed Restaurant, Sunapee Cruises, and the Fenton's Landing. Go Cougars! By Alley Oops Flowers, a retail shop full of creative gifts and some truly unique finds. They love to support small businesses, local crafters, and ethical companies, and the Cougars.
It's worth the visit to La Valley Building Supply in West Lebanon, New Hampshire, home of our flagship Kitchen Design Center. Step inside our 5,000 square foot showroom. Whether you're ready to design your dream kitchen or just want to explore what's new, you'll find inspiration everywhere. At La Valley's, there's a price point for every customer. Visit the flagship Design Center in West Lebanon or stop by any La Valley showroom across New Hampshire and Vermont. La Valley Building Supply, your hometown choice for kitchens since 1962.
NCTV programs are underwritten in part by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oil, Propane, and Motor Fuels, with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of energy systems, as well as air conditioning and water conditioning. Their friendly, highly trained, and certified staff is available to assist you throughout the process. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. North Cape Design Build for building a custom home from the ground up, a stunning waterfront property overlooking Lake Sunapee or Pleasant Lake, or the fabulous remodel you've been planning for a decade. North Cape Design Build can help your dreams become a reality. High-end custom craftsmanship, discerning contractors, beautifully executed designs. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer in New London since 1997, and much further back as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. LaValle Building Supply, serving homeowners and contractors since 1962. Whether you're an experienced builder or simply a do-it-yourselfer, you'll find what you need at LaValle Building Supply. Barton Insurance Agency provides local access to all your business and personal insurance needs, from auto, home, life, to business liability and related needs. Experience the hometown difference of Barton Insurance Agency. Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor for great land fare, seafood, sandwiches, and Bubba's award-winning seafood chowder. You won't be disappointed. They're having a lot of fun at Bubba's Bar and Grill. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown newspaper covering the Kearsarge, Sunapee, and Sunshine region of New Hampshire. Online and in print, the Innertown Record. Main Street Bookends in Warner, an independent bookstore providing books, toys, games, cards, and gifts. With a gallery showcasing local arts and artists, Main Street Bookends in Warner. Thank all our underwriters for making your local programming possible on NCTV.
It's worth the visit to LaValle Building Supply in West Lebanon, New Hampshire, home of our flagship Kitchen Design Center. Step inside our 5,000 square foot showroom. Whether you're ready to design your dream kitchen or just want to explore what's new, you'll find inspiration everywhere. At LaValle's, there's a price point for every customer. Visit the flagship Design Center in West Lebanon or stop by any LaValle showroom across New Hampshire and Vermont. LaValle Building Supply, your hometown choice for kitchens since 1962.